on Sheviit, Perek Zayin, Mishnah Bet, second Mishnah of the 7th chapter of Sheviit. So yesterday we learned a klal, we learned a rule that what was considered Sheviit, what was Sheviit. In the first Mishnah of Perek Zayin we learned, Kol shu ma'achal adam, anything that was edible for people, or ma'achal behemah, or animals, umi min hatzovim, or was used for dyes, ve'eno mitkayim ba'aretz, and it could not remain in the ground indefinitely. That is chayav in Sheviit. So today we're going to learn basically the exact same rule in the opposite way. They said another rule. Kol she'eno ma'achal adam. If it's not ma'achal adam, u'ma'achal behemah, umi min hatzovim, it's neither edible by human beings or animals, and it's not used for dyes. U'mitkayim ba'aretz. And the Bartanura says, this is the Bartanura's explanation, and it's mitkayim ba'aretz, and it lasts in the ground. I.e., anything that lasts in the ground, according to this girsa, yesh lo shvi'it. So if as long as it's not ma'achal, it can't be ma'achal adam, ma'achal behemah, and or dyes, and it lasts in the ground. Therefore, yesh lo shvi'it, but it grows, but it can remain in the ground for an indefinite period of time. Yesh lo shvi'it. Uledamav Sheviit, it has Sheviit, its value, it has Sheviit, it has Kedushat Sheviit, and its value is Kedushat Sheviit, i.e. if I take this thing and then sell it, that value has Kedushat Sheviit, but, en lo biur, ve'en ledamav biur, but the halachot of biur do not apply, meaning the halachot of biur only apply to things that are eno mitkayim ba'aretz, but if it's mitkayim ba'aretz, if it could last in the ground, then there is no obligation to do biur, to get it out of my house when it's no longer in the field. Maybe the reason is because it always lasts in the field. Ezehu, meaning there's no biur because it lasts in the fields indefinitely. I just thought of that. Okay, it says the Mishnah. Ezehu. So what are these species that last indefinitely? Ikar haluf hashoteh. The ikar, the root of the wild arum. I got that right. The root of the wild arum. Okay. The ikar adandana, and the root of the mint. The arkavnim. And the heart's tongue, I have no idea what that is. Ve'achalbitzin, chalbitzin are the asphodel, ve'abruchia, and the hazelwort. Umi min hatzovim, and from the dyes, hapu'ah, ve'arichpa. Okay, the dyer's madder, I'm looking at the English, and sow bread. I don't know what those are. Okay, if you do, you can look them up. If you have dyer's madder and sow bread and the dyes that you're growing in your field, you could leave it. Yeshlem Sheviit, Uludemeim Sheviit. Again, we were saying the rule, they have Sheviit, and if I sell all of these things, their value has Sheviit. Enlem biur v'loludmeim biur, but there's no chiyuv of biur. You don't have to remove them from your property, your house, and neither their value. I.e., if I sell something, remember we learned in the last Mishnah, if I sell, let's say, my oranges, then the damim, the value has kedushat Sheviit, and just like I have to get rid of the oranges from my house, I have to do the same thing from the thing that I bought, the value, either the money or what I bought with that money. Rabbi Meir says, the mehem mitba'arim ad Rosh Hashanah. No, they don't have biur. Remember, biur normally is ad she'echaleh devar min hasadeh. Until, let's say, the oranges, I can keep the oranges in my house that I collected until they're no longer available for the animals in the field. There aren't oranges on the trees anymore, and they're all gone. So Rabbi Meir says, in this case, there is biur for their value until Rosh Hashanah. Amrulo, they said, no. Emem biur. Kal v'chomer lidmeim. Not only them, kal v'chomer, much more so their value as well. The Kahati says that the reason why there's biur of the value and not of the fruit is because everybody knows that the let's say the asphodel and the hazelwort are kedushat Sheviit. So let's say what happens is if they have their kedusha in the 8th year or the 8.5th year, they'll say, well, everybody knows that asphodel and hazelwort are still kedushat Sheviit, so they'll treat it appropriately. But let's say I sold the asphodel and hazelwort. So if I sold it, then the money has kedushat Sheviit. So people don't, if they're after the zman biur, nobody treats money in a way that has to have kedushat Sheviit. So therefore, we're afraid that people will not treat it in the proper way and will be mevazeh, will denigrate kedushat Sheviit. And this is the reason Rabbi Meir says we have to be more machmir for the money than for the fruits themselves. We'll stop here. We'll dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. If you have any questions or comments, email me at rspolter@gmail.com.